Oh my God, Sony TVs are dead. At least that's what some people might think with the big announcement that Sony is now merging with TCL for their TV and home entertainment division. Hi everyone, I'm Dippin with CE Critic. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what's happening with the new Sony and TCL merger. I also want to break down how this might look like over the next year or so. I don't want to create any alarm. I see a lot of folks online talking about how this is the end of Sony TVs. And while that may end up happening long term, let's first talk about what's going to happen in the short term, what's actually happening with this agreement, and where things might go for Sony and TCL in 2027 and beyond. Okay, let's first talk about what is actually happening. So, TCL and Sony have talked about a merger of the Sony TV Bravia division and their home audio division. Now, this isn't a full buyout. This is a merger where 51% of the company goes to TCL, but Sony still retains 49%. That means Sony's going to have a really big say on what happens. But what exactly is TCL going to be doing here? Well, looking at my notes here, they're going to take over product development, design to manufacture, logistics, sales, and customer support. Now, this all comes from a press release about Sony and TCL signing a memorandum. I should clarify, a memorandum doesn't mean this is actually happening. It still has to go through regulations, still has to get approved. This is just saying this is our intent, and this is what TCL intends, and this is what Sony intends, and this could all fall through. Right now, both companies are saying this will go into effect in April of 2027, so it's still over a year away. But what does that mean for Sony TVs in 2026? Well, they typically aren't at CES, which just happened a couple weeks ago. So, in the next few weeks, I expect to hear more about what the TV lineup for Sony will be in 2026. That's where I think we'll start to see what Sony's vision is for the Bravia brand as they're going to potentially hand it over to TCL. I think this is a huge win for TCL. I mean, TCL might take the crown as the best TV manufacturer in the world. I got to see the X11L at CES a couple weeks ago. Now, of course, this was on the showroom floor and demos and very specialized environments, but everything I saw looked phenomenal. I know Caleb Dennison's going to get one of the first 98-inch X11Ls for review over the next few weeks. So we'll keep an eye out for that video to see how it handles in real world situations with real content. It's very promising to think that Sony's processing everything they do on their engineering side starts getting mixed in with TCL TVs. That's very exciting to me. On the other side, Sony has really struggled with their cost of goods. They're buying everything, either panels from LG or Samsung, and they're buying components from all these different manufacturers. With the fact that TCL actually owns a lot of the manufacturing, they'll be able to really combine resources to make better products. I don't think the Sony Bravia band's going away. I think maybe there might be some shared technology and logistics, like they were mentioning in their press release, but I think the brands still stay to their core function. Now, what really happens here for consumers is it's a little bit of a win-win. Maybe we can get some of that Sony technology in TCL TVs at a bit more of a affordable price because there is that Sony tax and premium that people pay for to get the Sony product. Some people are a little bit more doom and gloom that the Sony Bravia brand is going away. I don't think the Bravia brand is going to go away. I just think it's going to change and evolve. There's also the fact that Sony is also in with a lot of integrators and the CI custom install market, a place where I don't think TCL really has a strong foothold. So we might start to see more TCL TVs in that market. The other thing I wanted to call out is I saw this LinkedIn post by the general manager for TCL North America. I'm just going to look at its name here so I don't butcher it. I apologize. It's Hao Hong Wang. And what he's talking a lot about is AI. Now, I know this is where some people are going to really roll their eyes, but I think there is a play here around AI home entertainment, what's happening with AI technology, and it's going to be hard for a lot of these companies to keep up with the AI industry changing so fast and the cost of resources they need to keep their AI technology up to date. So, with companies trying to get more into AI, more into AI technology and AI entertainment, I think we're going to start to see some more companies that are going to struggle to keep up with modern standards. So there you have it, guys. It's not really the end of the world. It's still going to be over a year before we know if this merger is even going to happen. And then once it happens, we kind of have to see what is going to play out here. We'll have to check back probably in 2028 to see if there was any negative effects of the market. But by 2030, we'll know if this was a net positive or net negative for consumers. But overall, I think this is a really interesting move from Sony and TCL. It's very rare for a Japanese company like this to give up any part of their IP outright, let alone 51%. And I'm really curious to see how this all ends up. Hit that like button, share, and give me your thoughts below. What do you guys think is happening here? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? Are you going to run out and buy a Sony TV before they're all gone? Or do you think this is going to help the industry as a whole and consumers as a whole? Thanks, everyone. I'll catch you in the next one.